What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. It is another windy day here in South Texas. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to work on the house today. I have developed a blister on the inside of my stump. It hurts like a mofo, I'm not gonna lie about that, and I do not feel like getting up on a ladder, but that's not gonna stop me from getting work done today. Just so much stuff to do around here. I finally got around to cleaning up my garden. Went in here and weed eated everything out, sprayed some stuff down to try to kill off some of the grass. Check this out, guys. Yes, sir, I finally reclaimed my garden. I'm gonna be using Granny's super soil. I'm not gonna be paying for dirt when I can just go get it next door. So I have a bucket here. I'll probably end up doing about a bucket in each of these raised beds that I have. Got these on Amazon. These were only about $20 each, so you do the math, 7 times 20, 140. That's that good old Riviera, Texas math education right there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I got a pile of rock that I've crushed up over here. This was the leftovers from my old fire pit, just cinder blocks that I crushed up. I'm gonna go ahead and repurpose those, put those down in the bottom of each of these raised beds just to help out with the drainage. And then once again, I'll be using Granny's super soil here. It's not perfect, but it works really good down here. There is a little bit of grass and stuff in there. There may be a little bit of debris. I'll have to go in and just weed out the garden later on if grass starts growing back through the bed. So anyways, once again, it's a windy day. I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys down on time lapse real quick. I'm gonna get rid of this rock pile, distribute it in all of my raised beds. Then I'm gonna go back and forth about 7 times and try to get enough dirt to fill up these beds so I can start planting some vegetables. All right, I am done moving all those rocks. There was that big pile right here. Basically, it's a full bucket load. I crushed them up once again, just from my old fire pit, and trying to repurpose as much as I can and save as much money as I can. Got all the bottom of the beds filled up for the most part. This is strictly for drainage, and so I don't have to put as much dirt inside here, but you can see right there, full of those rocks, full of the rocks, all the way around. Very, very tired already. Rocks, rocks, and rocks. So Anyways, next thing to do is get the tractor, start dumping it in. I gotta go grab a shovel, a hammer. I'm gonna be building a couple of trellises, and then I'm gonna get into what we're gonna be planting after I get all the dirt in. Did that one by hand. I couldn't reach over to dump it. I wanted to clear out at least half the bucket so I could dump it in the other one and not lose all the dirt out here. I did lose some dirt in the middle, but it is what it is. All right, so that worked out a little better than I thought. I thought I was gonna lose a lot more dirt than that. As you can see down here, it was just a little bit spilled. One bucket actually did 2 of these, so I really only need to make about 3 more trips and I should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish topping them all off. And then we're gonna try to plant this stuff in, get it all watered in, build some trellises, and have a garden finally, yes. Like I said, I'm using Granny's super soil. You can see there's still roots and stuff once again in here. If I go in a little bit closer, there's just logs and stuff like that I just got to get out. Some of it's buried in. I'll just have to get it out when I get to my yard, but I don't know, it's probably 100 yards away, 150 yards away, something like that to get over here. So it takes just a second to get it. Well worth it, real good soil. I'm gonna jump back on the tractor and meet you back at my place. It's gonna be in the mid 80s today. I'm already sweating up a storm. Unfortunately, this is what I don't really show on videos a lot, but my prosthetic gets very, very sweaty. And then I have a black liner on it, which gets very sweaty. I don't know if y'all saw that sweat pouring out of it. Kind of gross, but it's my life, and that's how I roll. Oh man. Try to use my shirt to dry it up. And that's right where the blister is, right here in the middle. You probably saw there was some moleskin. It's a little circle pad with a hole in the middle that kind of lets the blister breathe. Unfortunately, with me sweating so much, it just comes right off. So best thing I could do is just try to dry it out like I did. Dry this liner out as good as I can and continue the process. I do have a new prosthetic foot coming in the mail I ordered. Also another liner. That'll be in this week. So I'll be able to walk just a little bit better until I can actually find a doctor that'll see me down here. It's hard to get a hold of people. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on. Pull my pants back down. And then I'm gonna show you guys what I picked up from the store to plant in this garden. A little more water first. All right guys, time to get back to work. All right, so I got some green okra, cucumbers, zucchini and squash, tomatoes, banana peppers, and jalapenos. Hopefully the audio is not terrible once again. You can see it's very windy today. So I'm gonna build a couple of trellises and plant the rest of these. So I'm reusing this old fence. This was left over from my chicken coop build. Try to reuse and repurpose everything as much as I can and save money, like I said. Probably been easier if I had a little grinder out here to grind these off, but these clippers work fine. zip tie them in. This is going to be the cucumbers over here, and I'll put the zucchini and squash on the other. Simple enough. Simple enough. I like to use the KISS method. They call it keep it simple, stupid. Nothing to it, just to do it. That's it. This one's kind of jacked up in the cup. There we go. Nothing beats a fresh picked cucumber. Alright. Little signs in there so I can remember what it is because I'm an idiot. I forget stuff. Alright, on to the next veggie. Time for the tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, a bush Goliath, and a better boy. Pretty sure when they all grow up, this whole thing is going to be completely covered, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a professional, and I don't claim to be, but I guarantee I'm going to grow some kind of vegetables out of it. Alright, on to the okra, one of my favorites. And like I said, I know thousands and thousands and thousands of people do gardening and they all do it different. This is just my way. I don't really care how other people do it. Alright, so there's my green okra. And I got another one for the other side as well. Like I said, I like okra a lot. All right, last but not least, the peppers. I would not be a true Texan if I wasn't growing peppers in my garden. I got some sweet banana peppers for this bed, and I'm gonna put some jalapenos on the other bed. Trying to grow everything that grows good down here in the heat. I could go out and just spend a bunch of money on some random stuff I'm probably not gonna end up growing, but I don't wanna waste my money. Alright, go head over and put those jalapenos in. All right, guys, just like that, I'm done with the garden for today. Got my banana peppers, jalapenos, okra, zucchini and squash, tomatoes, and some cucumbers. So quite a bit of stuff. Hopefully everything grows in good. Like always, as soon as you plant stuff in, it looks pretty wilted, but it's gonna come back. But once again, very, very proud of myself for getting out here and doing this. It was not the most comfortable today, but hey, worked through the pain and got it done. There ain't nothing to it but to do it's what I like to say. So anyways, we'll just do a quick walkthrough of the yard real quick while we're doing a food video and just show you everything that's growing out here. Once again, I have some wild Mustang grapes that are doing absolutely amazing out here. Have my little arch over here. I'm gonna be buying some worms here soon for my worm bed. I'm gonna put another load of dirt in there, but these grapes look nice. All the way down. I probably have, I don't know, 24 feet, 16 feet, and an arch, so about 40, I don't know, 48 feet total. I think the arch is 8 foot. And also, I got around to it as well and cleaned up old Baxter spot back here. This stuff was knee high. Finally got the weed eater working and came out here. And once again, that's the reason why I have blisters on my knee, because of doing all the yard work. But hey, it's totally worth it because the yard looks nice, in my opinion. Everything's nice and mowed down. Really hope the audio is not terrible. My pomegranates are looking great. Yes, sir. My plum trees look all right. The peach trees look all right. Starting to shoot out all their leaves. Yes, sir. Pear trees are looking great. About as good as it can in middle of April. Then I got my banana trees over here that look pretty good. Those are blue ice cream. This one, I'm not sure, I can't remember the name of it, but I just planted it in this week, so it's looking a little bit wilted, but what doesn't when you first plant it in? And then same thing with this one's a blue ice cream. Seen its better days, but not too bad. I know it's not food, but got my Pride of Barbados that's growing back from the freeze. We had that freeze, I don't know, a few months back, and it took its toll on a lot of my plants. So come back to the pond. I need to come in here and scoop out all the grass when I was weed eating and stuff that got in there. See old Daisy May trying to catch frogs as always. I dug up the palm tree. Surprise, surprise. I dig shit up. I plant it. I dig it up and I plant it. It is what it is. I gave it to mom and dad for their backyard. So in return, got myself a live oak tree. Want this thing to grow real big and massive over this area and shade my front yard. I got all my crepe myrtles. Then I have hibiscus in between each one. Those I had to cut back into freeze. And the crepe myrtle in the corner over here. And of course I got my moringa that's growing back from the freeze as well. Yes sir. I'm gonna pull off part of that and eat it. It's the miracle tree. Too many nice. Tastes like peanuts, surprisingly. Then I got all my citrus on this side over here. Got my sweet orange. I believe that one's a navel orange. And I got myself a wild olive. Right there, a little Texas olive tree. It's already starting to put out some flowers. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. There's more to my life than just building this house. I always get asked everywhere I go when somebody's either watches the channel and sees me in public, they ask, how's the house going? Is the house done yet? And I'm like, ugh, there's only so much I can do. One day at a time, people, one day at a time, and I promise it's gonna get done and it's gonna look absolutely amazing. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Comment down below what y'all think of my little miniature garden out here. I think it looks all right. Not the best garden in the world, but hey, it's my garden and I like it. So anyways, appreciate you guys for watching and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.